Hello, welcome. It's always a pleasure. I know I haven't made anything visually, so we can talk and at least for you to get some understanding and knowledge from these learning and teaching. The thing today that I want to discuss is marriage dead? Is marriage dead? Is it gone? Is it something of the past? Is it something that our grandmother or our parents had and now today it's impossible for us? Well, of course, when I say us, either people of my age or my children as well, which they are having a very difficult time finding a spouse, someone to build a life with. And it's heartbreaking. And I can tell you this much. When I was growing up, we knew who the good girls were when I was growing up. When we were in high school, we knew the bad girls, and that was, everybody knew. It wasn't just me, or it wasn't just the students, it wasn't just the boys, it wasn't just the girls, also the teachers, the staff, the principals. Society knew who the bad girl were or the bad boys were. It was obvious, it was plain to us. Because that's how rare it was, especially if a girl got pregnant, the whole school knew. As a matter of fact, there was a school specially made for girls who got pregnant in school when I was in high school. They sent them away to a special school just for those type of girls. So we knew. Today, it's the opposite. No one can tell who the good girl is or the good guy. It's almost impossible to tell who they are. So the question is, what happened? And this was only, 40 years ago. Such a tragic change in relationship, in marriage. It's day and night. It's almost non-existent. Love almost doesn't exist. It has become a word, or I guess taboo, if you will. It just means something we heard, but we never seen. That's what it has become. What happened to us? Where did this fall come from within the 40 years? If you are watching this and you were in high school 40 years ago, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the question is, if you were in school 40 years ago, 50 years ago in high school, you knew what it was like. You knew who the good boys and the good girls were in your school. So the question is, why are you not still the same person? Why have you changed and became like the people today? As if you did not know what good was and what bad was back then. So the question is, what happened to us? Well, when I was growing up, there was a code, there was ethic, there was morality, there was modesty, there was shame. Back then, there was shame. And I'm going to ask you a question. Do you even know what shame is? Now, people my age should know what shame is. People my age should know what modesty. By the way, shame shows you are intelligent. You have wisdom. If you are dating a man or woman that doesn't have shame, run. Because why? You're going to suffer in that relationship. What does that mean, shame? I'm ashamed to cheat on you. I'm ashamed to yell or argue, fight. I'm ashamed to dress a certain way as a woman. I'm ashamed to have my breasts and my butt hanging out. I'm ashamed of twerking and dancing. Why? Would you twerk and dance in front of your father? Some of you women might argue you have a problem with that. Why don't you do that in front of your daddy, in front of your mother, in front of your grandfather, in front of grandmother? Would you twerk like you do? If you're not ashamed, then that's probably why you're single and you will never get married. Why? Because marriage is a spiritual institution designed by God. Do you think God is proud of his queen? Because women love to call themselves queen. If you want to know what a queen looked like, go and research Queen Elizabeth. You see how she walked, how she talked, how she dressed. That's how a queen carried themselves. A queen has a code that they follow, a law that they follow to conduct themselves. Because why? You are a queen. So therefore, that means I have to behave in a specific way. Same thing as a prince, as a king. I can't simply behave any way I want to behave. And when you don't have a code, a structure to follow as a king and as a queen, therefore you know more than even, I'm not even going to say animals. Why? Because animals also have a code. A deer knows not to go into a lion territory. They know that. A deer can sense danger. And what makes a deer wise? When he takes off, start running. He runs real fast for a while and stop and look behind. Run again and stop and look behind. Why? To make sure the enemy is not coming after him. They have understanding. They have laws within the animal kingdom, and they follow those laws. But us as humans, supposed to be intelligent, supposed to be divine being, supposed to have a soul. This is why men walk upright. Like when you light a candle, it goes up because it wants to go into the spiritual aspect. Men walk upright because why? You're looking upward at God. You're praying up to heaven in the sky. Animals on four. They're looking toward the ground. So they don't have a soul. But you do. You're a divine being. So being a divine being, you should have shame. And how do we know we should have shame? When Adam and Eve were in the garden, when they ate the fruit, what was the first thing they recognized? They were naked. And what the first thing they do, they went and hide. They were embarrassed of each other. Well, how can you be embarrassed? Wisdom. That's how you know if a woman possesses wisdom, if a man possesses wisdom, because there's shame. Now, in order for you to understand this, and if you don't have shame, there's no way you're going to find a good husband and a good wife. It simply doesn't exist. People may argue, oh, that's in the past. That's, old-fashioned. Okay. That sounds like a good argument. Then that's the case. Then why are you not married? Why are you not happy? Why is the woman cussing you out? Why is the man cussing you out? Why is the man cheating on you? Why he's not loyal? Why she's not loyal? Why she's not devoted? Because why? There's no shame. It's not about that anymore. It's about what can I get? It's not about integrity anymore. But I'm not speaking to everybody because there are some women, there are some men, I call these people the remnant. Because out of all the people, 20% of the population still have some shame, but it's hard to find these people. And this is what you need to do. That's the first thing, the line of defense when you are looking for a spouse. You want to build. Does this person have shame? Does she have shame? Does he have shame? But again, in order for you to recognize if this person possesses shame or not, or modesty for the woman, men too, how they carry themselves, you yourself must know what they are. If you don't know what they are, then you will never be able to identify this within these people you're looking to build a relationship with. And therefore, there's going to be failure. So we know the moment someone speaks about materialism, they have a foul mouth. And you look at, of course, there's so much things you need to know today. When back then it was easy to identify who had shame, who did not. 40 years ago, there was embarrassment. Parents was embarrassed of their kids if they got pregnant. There are certain things parents did not want to get out. But it seemed like even the parents is almost the same as the child. And what do you expect? What do you think you're going to get to marry someone who has no shame? And because we lack the most valuable thing, shame, and being modest, your life with someone could never be. It could never be good. Nothing good will ever come out of that. If you don't know what shame is, ask your parents what it was like when they were growing up. Ask your grandmother or your grandfather. You need to understand it can never be, or you can never be happy if you don't possess these two must quality in a human being. Because that person simply not going to be embarrassed to cheat on you, to lie in your face, to mistreat you. It simply doesn't exist. You mean nothing because why? I don't possess something that's valuable to build something with. So again, this is why one of the major reasons relationship doesn't work and it will never work until you understand this.